Hey everybody, this is something I have been meaning to do for a couple of weeks now. I broke my 5-day water fast 2 weeks ago, and wow, what a journey. So many of you reached out with messages, support, information, wanting to know more. So this is my, as quick as I can, I promise, account of what happened for me. So those of you who know me will know I have no willpower. None whatsoever. How I ever gave up smoking 11 years ago is a mystery to me, and I'm convinced to this day my dead mum and dad helped me from spirit. True story. I don't know how I did it. So in typical me fashion, I spent absolutely months researching water fasts. I have a metabolic rate of basically 0. I have, through trauma, self-abuse, abusive relationships, since my early 20s, steadily been gaining weight, especially around my middle, the visceral fat, in the obese category, and high risk. And I've also felt I have a blockage in my upper belly, my upper abdomen, which was a worry to me because my father collapsed probably about 6-8 years before he died. He collapsed because he had a blockage in his large intestine and needed emergency surgery, and they cut away a big chunk. So this has always been on my mind, and thinking I need to be mindful and do something about this. So having never even done a 24-hour water fast, I thought I'm going to do 5. Well, actually, I thought I'm going to do 4. And then as I'd started day 1, I'd read and watched a few podcasts from doctors that all spoke about the importance of 5 days. So I thought, what's another day? Only me. So days 1 to 3, as I've already spoken about, relatively uneventful. I'm not going to lie, they were difficult in terms of you have the noise chatter in your mind. I was getting hunger pangs. They weren't horrendous. They came in waves and were really easy to navigate. Actually, days 1 to 3 were pretty good, other than I got an upset tummy. Now, I had prepped, I'd bought electrolytes that were 0 calories, 0 sugar, and I also had Celtic sea salt. The electrolytes did not work for me whatsoever, and I switched to Celtic sea salt. When I mean I got an upset tummy, I mean I got an upset tummy. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't particularly nice. I didn't feel low, but yeah, bear in mind. And you're not going to want, for me, thank God I didn't leave the house. There was an accident. So that's all we're going to say about it. Let's leave that there. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to do this, do it when you don't need to leave the house, if possible. If you are married, if you have children and there's a lot of food noise coming at you, if you can get rid of them or take yourself off somewhere, also highly recommend. Being childless and husbandless has been a definite win for doing this process, not going to lie. But mentally that was great. Everything I had read, and I followed so many accounts, everyone said by the time you get to day 4, it's going to be a breeze. That was not my reality. Day 4, I woke up and I met the version of Nicole who has sabotaged everything throughout my entire life. Oh, she was there in my ear. Break the fast. You've done this far. You don't need to keep going. You name it, every opposing thought, every type of sabotage, it was there. It was like this version was on my shoulder. I was irritable. I came so close to breaking the fast. I'm not going to lie, so close. On day 3, like a woman possessed, and I think I've mentioned this before in a reel on Instagram, I actually opened a bag of crisps and sniffed them. True story. Amazingly, I didn't give in. This is going to be a divisive subject, but I did go on to ChatGPT and had, used it as a therapist. And she, because my ChatGPT is a she, said, look, you've done amazing. You could absolutely quit at this point with your head held high. The only issue is going to be, how will you view yourself? How will that version of you who's quit at everything previously, what will that do to your mindset? And what will completing this do for rewiring your brain? And that really not triggered me, but it really impacted me, because I know I'm on a big journey for stepping into this version of myself who can do anything, who is limitless, who is abundant, who sees joy in everything, who can accomplish anything that she wants. And so I thought, I'm going to ride the wave. And it was brutal, and I couldn't wait to go to bed on day 4. And then I woke up on day 5, and it was like someone had flipped a switch in my brain. I woke up on cloud 9. Yes, I had a full day to go, but I was there on the last stretch. And not only that, I had not given in. I had not allowed that self-sabotaging version of me to destroy everything I'd done. And that was huge. In fact, that was more powerful than anything. And I don't think I have ever felt such pride with myself for many, many years. So I finish day 5 and I break the fast with bone broth, which was, guys, it was the most amazing thing ever. And I went to bed, satiated, satisfied, victorious. I get up on the Friday morning, so day 6, and I have more bone broth, and I have very soft, overboiled cauliflower and broccoli with some chili flakes. Beautiful. I then go out and I go and buy chicken, breast and salad, avocados, tomatoes, kimchi. So I have that for my dinner. Oh my goodness, it was the best thing in the world. And then I wake up the following day on the Saturday morning, and come at me, I did what we really shouldn't do. I wake up and I grab my phone and I'm like, can't read anything, it's all a blur. And I thought, oh, I'm tired, I've just woken up, rub the old eyes. Oh balls, I can't read anything. Now, I do need to say, I need to wear glasses for reading, but I can, it's not in focus, but it's absolutely readable. But this wasn't, this was literally like a blur of black. So I come down, sort the dogs out, let them out, make myself a coffee. No, I actually can't see. So I'm type 2 diabetic, so I need to be aware of this. I do some research and I find out actually when you start refeeding after a fast, when you start to do this, your glucose levels change and it can widen or thicken the lens of your eyes. And I thought, well, I'm glucose sensitive anyway, so it's most likely that. What I noticed was my vision went from nearsighted to long-sighted. So I needed my driving glasses and I couldn't read. Full story, I went to the opticians, but basically it took me a week and a half for my vision to come back. Everyone else in my life was not worried. I was for 5 minutes, and then I really tuned in. I was like, you're going to be fine. And I was absolutely fine. So I'm now eating cleanly. I'm making amazing choices because I want to. I am having occasional treats and I'm not beating myself up about it. I lost 2.5 inches from my upper abdomen. I lost 2 inches from my lower abdomen and about half a stone. Now, obviously, I gained a couple of pounds from refeeding, but I've been intermittent fasting, doing 18-6 since then. And I'm basically eating clean. And I feel like a new woman. I really do. I am so proud of myself. I did this. I accomplished this, and I feel like there's nothing I cannot do. I'm making much healthier choices. I know I've moved things in my gut. It's been 2 weeks since I started refeeding. I've just started a parasite cleanse, a herbal parasite cleanse. That is a 20-day protocol. I will let you know how that goes. But it's all about moving all this blockage in the gut. But I feel amazing. It's been more of a mental triumph. I did this because I wanted to reset or kickstart my metabolism, which I feel is happening. I can definitely feel it in my, my chin here. I mean, this feels nice. I've got a long way to go, but I feel good. But it's the mental aspect, the emotional aspect that has been so positive. So, would I do a 5-day water fast again? You're not going to see me racing to do it. But yeah, I will. In about 6 months, I'm going to do it again. What I can say is at least once a month, I am going to do a 24 or 36 hour water fast. I'm absolutely going to do that. I want to keep on top of the intermittent fasting. This is about me reclaiming my health, my wellness, my mindset, my body, everything. And I will say this, if I can do this, anybody can. There's just no two ways about it. If you have any questions, if you want any support, if you've got anything to share, get in touch. But yeah, I would do this hands down again, even though I lost my vision for a week and a half. I mean, I could see, I just couldn't read. But yeah, I would do it without hesitation. What it has given me on a physical level is yet to see, but I can see some difference, certainly on my tummy. It's going to take me about another 10 months to get into a really good rate of health, I think, in terms of the weight I need to be, body mass index. But it's changed everything in my viewpoint of myself. So absolutely, I would do it again, hands down.